Good day, friends. I made a video that blew up. It was a video of African Indians. These are the Siddi people of India. Some of you left very good comments. Some of the comments offered very good criticism that I can build on, criticism that will make the channel grow bigger. And a few comments were mean and vicious without a purpose. There's no need for that. Because I'm doing my level best just to show the world that there are people of African origin that the world might not be aware of. For one, I did not know that there were African Indians. A few of you left comments saying I left some vital information on the Siddi people. So I'm here to make a video specially for that. You see, I do listen to your comments. I'm grateful that the Siddi videos have been watched by many of you. And I can see that a lot of you are watching my videos, but very few of you are subscribing. And you know, in my videos, I really don't like asking for subscribers, asking for you guys to like the video or share. Normally, when I respond to your comments, I will write in the comment that please subscribe. The reason why I don't like mentioning subscribe on my video all the time is because I don't want to disturb your viewership. You watching the video means a lot because hopefully you will learn something from it, or you will gain some knowledge or some information that you were not aware existed. Just like me, when I arrived here in Karnataka, I did not know that there were African Indians, people of African origin. How did I get to know about the Siddis? Well, I got to Ahmedabad, which is the capital city of Gujarat state. And the reason why I was going to this state is because I learned that the richest village in the world is found in this state of Gujarat. And I thought, I'm gonna go to this richest village and explore and make a video and bring you guys this video. Well, the video, it's done and I will upload it as soon as I can because I still have to edit it, go through everything. So when I got to Ahmedabad, I saw one black gentleman and I approached him. I thought, oh, well, there's another tourist. Let me talk to him. So I went to him and I said, hello, sir. I'm looking for this village and how do I get to this village? I'm not going to mention the name of this village because you guys might not watch my video. And he just kept speaking in the language that I could understand. So I kept speaking in English and he kept speaking in his language until a passerby stopped. When this guy stopped, he said, I think he cannot understand you. And I said, yeah, I thought so, because I'm speaking English, but he cannot understand. And that passerby said, well, this gentleman, he speaks Gujarati and he speaks Hindi. He doesn't speak English. And he thinks that may be a Gujarati. So he was saying, can you speak in Gujarati? That's why he kept saying Gujarati, Gujarati, Gujarat, Gujarat, which means he comes from Gujarat. Can you speak Gujarati? And I said, well, the only Gujarat word that I know is the one that say hello or how are you, and that's Kemcho. And the moment I say Kemcho to the gentleman, he was so happy. He said, Majama, Majama. He was so happy. And this was a gentleman of African origin who I thought was a tourist, maybe from Africa or maybe from the Americas or maybe from Europe, until it was explained to me through the translator that the gentleman has never been to Africa. This gentleman was born and bred in Gujarat. And I said, so this gentleman Gujarati? He said, yes, he's Gujarati because he's African Indian. He's Afro-Indian. So the passerby decided he was going to help me talk to this gentleman even further. Went to a cafe, we sat down, and then he started telling me a life story. He told me that there's a big community of African-looking people who live in the Karnataka state. And he said here in Gujarat, there's one village which is quite big, and this is the biggest village in Gujarat of African Indian people. I asked him, what is the name of the village? He said the name of the village is Jambu. He told me that he lived in a village called Junagadh, which is not too far from Jambu. So I asked him, how do I get to Jambu? He said, well, since you are here in Ahmedabad, you must take a train from Ahmedabad and go all the way to Veraval. And when you get to Veraval, you should ask the local people where to get the bus that goes from Veraval to Jambu. And he said from Veraval to Jambu, it should be about 20, maybe 40 minutes, whereas the train will be overnight. So I decided that when I finish speaking to him, I will go back to the train station and get a train to go to Veraval. Then I can go to Jambu to see this big community. When I was sitting with this gentleman, he knew a lot of history. He said, well, not all Siddi people are descendants of slaves. He said some Siddi people brought by the Arabs as merchants, as carpenters, as soldiers, as nurses, as doctors to help the Arabs in India and Pakistan. He said that working relationship between Africans and Arabs continues for many, many years until the Arabs got a little bit selfish and they didn't want to continue paying the Africans who were in India. In the end, the Arabs then went to Eastern Africa and stole some Eastern Africans and brought them to India to continue working as slaves. And a lot of these people came through Goa coast, and some of them were taken to Pakistan. He believed that his ancestors were taken from Eastern Africa, and he said most of the Siddi community, they were taken from Eastern Africa. And he said after the Arabs left, the Portuguese started bringing many people from Eastern Africa to work as slaves because a lot of Indian people were dying of diseases and so on. And a few years later, the British joined the slave trade and brought loads of African people as slaves. He wasn't so keen on the British. He really didn't like the British. A lot of Siddi people are not so keen on the British because they say that in those years, the British did not want the Siddi people to learn. They did not want the Siddi people to be educated. They wanted them to be working in the plantations, in the farms, in their homes as domesticated workers. Exploitation and slavery was very rife. Instead, the Portuguese, even though they were slave owners, they encouraged them to be Christians. So a lot of Siddis joined Christianity. Some Siddis, of course, were Muslims because of the Arab influence, and some Siddis became Hindis because of the Asian Indian Hindi community. It is true that the Siddi people were hidden and forgotten, as the old man was telling me that the world doesn't know about them and they are okay with it, but they would love their stories to be heard. And I said, well, I am going to try and make a very good documentary. It might not be 100% perfect, but at least I would have done something. Well, my decision to go to Jambu was influenced by the elder gentleman's love of his people and also his understanding of the history and his belonging to the African people. See, the sun is gone a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see me. Oh, this is lovely. This Siddi gentleman, he embraced his Indian belongingness but never forgot his African roots, even though he didn't know where in Africa his ancestors were taken from or came from. All he knew was that it's somewhere in Eastern Africa. It could be northeastern or southeastern Africa, but he knows that they were taken from Eastern Africa. Well, that was the Siddi village of Jambu, and from there I took the train and went to Karnataka. In Karnataka, Siddi people, you find them in the Uttara Kannada district. If you go anywhere else in Karnataka districts, many Indian people don't know about the Siddi people. Just like the rest of India, very, very few people know about the Siddi people. From the Siddi village of Jambu, I decided to take the sleeper bus. Unfortunately, we had an accident. The bus accident was frightening as I thought it was the end of me. But well, here I am still making videos for all of you and reading all your comments. Your comments are well appreciated as I do get a chance to read all of them and try to respond to as many as I can. Some are very helpful and a few are mean and vicious without purpose. I've learned that there's time to speak and time to keep silent. Well, that's Ecclesiastes. Oh, Jesus! My sleeper bus fuel tank fell off. Indian sleeper bus, let's look. That's for a couple. Couples here. And the singles on this side. And then the single can sleep here and here. Couples over there. Oh, a family of 4 here. Yeah, you have electric socket, you have a window. The town of Talalala. Interesting town. Talalala. Hello, Talala people. Talalala. Talala, yes. Oh, Jesus. Our bus just hit a hump. The bus hit the hump and the whole tank is sitting down here. We cannot move.
Hey, Jack, man, who's calling?
See, the whole tank is sitting. It's the whole tank. Now you cannot move it. Oh my God. That's the entire tank. It's leaking. It's gone. We're gonna need a new tank to move here. The tank must have been sitting over there, and now it's sitting down there. That's the story of my travels. Bus hit a hump and lost the tank. Is that hump right back there? Yeah. We hit these humps here, and now we cannot move. That's the bracket that holds the gas tank. And that's all the gas down here. Let me try to help. Story of my life. This is my trip, guys. That's it. We just lost the bus. I don't know if they can fix it today. You try to fix? You can fix it? I don't know if they can fix this. I think he's trying to fix it. I don't know if that will be at all possible. In these parts of the world, not only are you supposed to be a driver, you're supposed to be able to fix complicated things such as the fuel tank dropping off the bus. Our fuel tank is sitting right there. Finally got it from under the bus. Now I'm trying to get a ride for 5 kilometers. Maybe I'll be lucky. Hey brother, 5 kilometer ride. Can you give me a ride? Say yes or no. They think they don't speak English here, man. Hey guys, I got a ride. Okay, oh, where do I put my feet? Okay, here. Oh, wait, 1 sec. Okay, I'm going very well, but my bus, the tank fell off. Because it's like very well, 4 kilometers something. You going very well? No, okay.
The IDC, fish.
Oh, IDC, you're going IDC. Okay, no problem. How many kilometers from IDC?
2.
I can walk 2 kilometers. Maybe I get local bus there. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, man. Not used to this. Jesus.
Oh my God, nice.
Hello, mate. Hello. Yes, thank you. This is the way to Veravel train station, yes? Train station that way. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay, hello.
Hello, hi, how are you? Fine.
I'm all right, thank you. Yes, thank you. Now I am walking to the train station. Hi. is the restaurant. It's very busy in the evening, but no one speaks English. Thank you. A few customers, hello. But they always try to say hello to you and try to greet you, and that's a very good thing. Look at this meal. This meal is for one person, and they call this half a meal. That was full, and now I've put it in my plate. What I've ordered is chicken fried rice. This is 80 cents or just $1. $1 for all this meal here. You spend less money in this country, seriously. The only problem is that they do not speak English here.
Okay, bye.
If you would like to help this channel, please use the links that you find below the description of every one of my videos. There you can find Patreon. You can be a member of Patreon, which means you will get to see videos that are not fit for YouTube, videos that YouTube don't allow. They will be on there. I mean, you're not going to see a video of me naked, of course, but you're going to see some very interesting videos. Videos of high sensitivity, they'll be on Patreon. Or sometimes I might put these videos on Buy Me a Coffee. So you'll find PayPal links. You can find links for Buy Me a Coffee or Buy Me a Beer. You can find links for Patreon, become a member. Here on YouTube, you can even click super chats if you want to support my channel. You can leave a $5 there, $1 to $10, whatever. $100 will be great, but I'm not asking for that. Who are the Siddi people of India? The Siddi people are simply people of African origin. You can call them Afro-Indians or you can call them African Indians. They don't mind being called Afro-Indians, African Indians, or you can simply call them Siddi people. When I went to their villages, the first thing I could hear them say was mini Africa, and they were all saying, I am Africa, I am Africa, which basically means that they are in Little Africa and they are African. I know in India it's different because when you're in India, India doesn't care if you are white American, white British, black American. In India, you're all just Indian. When I was walking all over India, when I was traveling across India, people of Indian origin thought I was Indian. And I will say, no, I am not. And they will say, no, but you look Indian. You look Indian. I say, okay, until I decided just to say yes, because you can't win that kind of argument in India. In India, you are Indian. You can be from China. You might look Chinese. You might look Korean. In India, no. You're all Indian. Some of you in your comments, you raised the concern that maybe the Siddi people face racism. Well, India is different. India is a diverse of cultures. I have traveled across India, and I am very proud to say I have not experienced any racism at all. In India, they treat me like I'm an Indian person. You can be a black British or white British. You could be white European, black European, Chinese European. It doesn't matter. In India, you are all treated just the same. They treat everyone equal in India. If I start saying, well, I've encountered so much racism in India, then that will be a lie, because I will be doing that just to get the views. But that's not the Indian truth. And I'm not one to peddle such a negative narrative. The African Indian people live in peace, harmony, and I spoke to them and they said they hardly face any racism throughout India. Where do Siddi people live? The Siddi people live in very small communities. These communities are found near the forests. I mean, you can look at this forest where I am here. Oops. There are no snakes, because a lot of you are worried that maybe there are snakes. No, there are no snakes. Maybe snakes are hiding from me. I'm not sure. When I was in the villages, I learned that the Siddi communities are divided into 3 different categories, or I can say 3 different villages. You have a category of Siddi Christian, Siddi Hindi, Siddi Muslims. Now, it's very different. The Siddi community who belongs to the Hindu religion or belong to the Muslim religion, they usually mix with other communities. So you will find a Muslim Siddi in that village, you will find a Hindu Siddi in that village, and they're all mixed with Asian Indians and also African Indians. When I was in those types of villages, sometimes I couldn't tell who was a Siddi person and who was Indian, because they look almost the same. Unless they were not covering their head, then I could tell with the afro hair that, oh, that one is an African Indian person. But when you go to Christian Siddi communities, that's completely different. I was blown away because everybody there is Christian. It's a village of just Christian Siddis. And one of the villages where I went, it's a village of like 50 different houses. I said to them, well, you guys seem to look a bit alike. And they said, yes, because we're all related. Imagine a village of 50 or 60 houses or 100 houses, and they're all related. So this is my uncle, this is my sister, this is my cousin, this is my cousin's sister, cousin brother, that's my uncle from another mother, my brother from another mother. And I said, well, if you're all related, where do you go if you want to get married? And they said, well, we go to other Christian villages and find a wife or a husband. I said, wow, that's very, very interesting. I was amazed to find that the Siddis who speak decent English or who can speak a bit of English, you find them in Christian communities. When you go to the Siddi Hindi communities or the Muslim Hindi communities, English is hardly spoken. So a lot of them, they normally speak local languages. A lot of you asked, when you travel, when you visit these places, you must have a translator. Guess what? I had a translator, but this was my first time in the Siddi community. I had no clue how I will be received, how the people will be. So when I got there, I got a translator who spoke Hindi, but Siddi communities are different. Siddi communities, they speak 3 different languages, and they mix these languages when they speak. They speak a language called Konkani, Kannada. Kannada is a language found in Karnataka. Konkani is a language found in the Goa area. And they speak Marathi. That's a language found in Maharashtra, which is the Mumbai area. So when I was with my translator will say, well, I can't understand what they are saying, but I understand a little bit. So that's where the problem was, that some of the Siddi community, they don't speak Hindi. Some of them speak very little Hindi, but they speak a mixture of 3 different languages. So next time when I go to the Siddi villages, I definitely will find a Siddi person from the Christian community who can speak 3 different languages. If I find one in the Hindi Siddi community or in the Siddi Muslim community, then I will be very happy for that person to help me with the translation. Other comments wanted to know, what sort of jobs do Siddi people do? Some Siddis have administrative work in government, and some are teachers, nurses, police officers, etc. But most Siddis are very poor. So farming is the only sustainable way of life for them. Well, I plan to start a crowdfunding to help the Siddi people. However, I won't start a big venture until I'm certain that I will have the time to help them. I think it's a very bad practice to start crowdfunding under false pretense by claiming that you are going to help a certain community or a certain people and then use the crowdfunding to fund your own lifestyle. That's cruel, and that's just not me. And a lot of you did address the concern that they look poor. Yes, Siddi people are poor. They don't have a lot of money. A lot of them are farmers. They do struggle, but at least they grow their own food in these villages, because their villages are far from the towns. Most villages are much, much closer to the forest. You find very few villages which are near other Asian villages. Other comments that I'm going to address is about Siddi schooling. A lot of you were watching these videos very carefully, and they will say, well, I haven't seen a school. Is there a school there? Well, most Siddi villages, they don't have schools. If they have, they will have one school, and that school is likely to be a nursery school or a kindergarten or a primary school, and that's it. So that means no high school. So the children will start in nursery school or kindergarten and then primary school. But if they want to go to high school, this is when it gets a little bit more complicated, a little bit more difficult. The high schools, they're normally far away in towns that are like 15, 20 kilometers away. And to get to these towns, the Siddi children will have to walk to the nearest bus stop. That's like between 2 to 4 kilometers away. There they will catch the bus and go to the nearest town to go to high school. This explains the high level of illiteracy in Siddi communities. And if they want to further their education, like go to university or college to learn a trade, guess what? They have to travel to as far place as Bangalore. They have to then go to like 300, 400 kilometers away, sometimes 800 kilometers away. And most Siddi families, they don't have a lot of money to cover the transportation and to send their kids in these big cities where they have to pay for their accommodation, maybe pay for the dormitory and pay for the food and pay for their education. So it's very, very hard for Siddi people. But even though Siddi people live in poverty, they are a very happy community. They are very welcoming. When I was there, I felt like home. This is why I'm going to address this other point that you guys talked about. You said, well, don't touch people's hair. I get that. I understand that. And point taken. I won't be touching people's hair. But when I was... No buts. The moment I arrived in one of the villages, people were just so lovely. I did not know whether to hug them or bow or shake their hands. I just couldn't believe that these people existed. I was like, wow, can I touch your hair? You know, and they said, okay, some of them said, okay, you can touch the hair. Some of them say, no. Nay means no. What you guys have addressed has hit home. And I will try not to just ask people if I can touch their hair or pat them on the back or anything like that. Because some of you felt a bit offended. And for that, I apologize. Some of the comments stated that I just shove camera into people's eyes. No, I don't do that. I do not shove cameras into people's eyes. Normally, excuse me. Oh, I was burping, sorry. Too much gas. I've been eating too many rotis. I normally stop and ask if I can video them, if I can ask them a few questions. And if they say no, then I don't. The reason why you don't see me asking them is because the camera is usually in my bag, because I have to ask for permission first. The only time when I'm making a video and not asking for permission is when I'm in the forest like this. When I'm walking alone, I don't ask for permission because I just talk to the camera and share the history, share the information with you. And before I make my videos, I normally do a lot of research. I will talk to teachers, I will talk to historians, I will talk to elderly people in the villages to get more information, because the elderly people, they do know quite a lot. Well, my decision to go to Jambu was influenced by the elder gentleman's love of his people and also his understanding of the history and his belonging to the African people. This Siddi gentleman, he embraced his Indian belongingness but never forgot his African roots, even though he didn't know where in Africa his ancestors were taken from or came from. All he knew was that it's somewhere in Eastern Africa. It could be northeastern or southeastern Africa. Well, that same evening, I decided to go to Jambu from Ahmedabad, and this was after speaking to the Siddi gentleman. He really gave me this drive. So I took an overnight train from Ahmedabad to Veraval, an 8-hour train journey covering over 360 kilometers. Yeah. Gondal. Gondal village.
Gondal village.
Gujarat.
Town.
Cheers, Gondal people. Gondalians. You Gondalians?
Yes.
Okay, Gondalians. Good luck. I'm with Gondalians here in Gujarat. They are living now in Gondal. Interesting place. Yes. And nobody's selling food here. Gondal village. All right. Oh, sorry, Pops. Say hello, Pops. I met this gentleman, Kati Kurmam. He's from Tamil Nadu. As you can see, I've got white things around my mouth. This is the food that Katikurma gave me on my travels. The food is very tasty. He speaks a bit of English and he's from Madurai in Tamil Nadu. He made this food from fruits and maybe veggies. He will write it down for me and send it by text or maybe email. Then I can check it and I'll ask my friends who speak Tamil to translate it for me in English. The food itself, it's amazing. It's not very heavy. It's got a big plastic container. It's 1.5 kg and it's carrying this food. What it does, it collects all these fruits and maybe veggies, fry
No
them.
fruit.
No,
No fruit.
no fruits.
No fruit.
Veggies, vegetable,
Veggie means
tomatoes, onions.
no
fruits.
no fruit. Vegetables means no bus.
Oh, so it's
Veggie matlab veggie na
mostly nuts.
peanut,
Yeah, peanuts.
Uh-huh. Some Indian rice food
Okay.
item.
Okay. Like
No food, no fruit,
no fruits.
no fruit.
So it's like Indian rice with nuts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wheat.
Wheat.
Wheat from oats. Okay.
Wheat. Then others some.
Yes.
I send to you.
Yes. Yeah, you'll send it to
mobile.
me. Yes. Okay.
Full details.
Yes.
Okay?
Brilliant. Okay.
Understand?
Yeah. So he was explaining to me that the food that he made is not made from fruits or veggies, but made from a special kind of rice and wheat, and he will send me
Peanut.
the ingredients or whatever it's made of. What is your name, sir?
Tamil Nadu, Madurai.
And your name?
Karthik Kumar.
How do you make this food?
Collect some materials, then fry, go to machine, grind it in powder, make powder,
Yes.
food, then eat travel food.
How many spoons of this food do you eat?
Mini child, 3 spoon, big one, 5 spoon, man is eat in 10 spoon, 3 spoon in mouth, food in mouth, so some water, mix in mouth,
Okay. Can we see the food and see the spoon? And that's the food right there. So you can see the container. That's the food inside. It's all powder-like and very tasty. It's got a strong taste of nuts. Going to show us the spoon as well.
I eat and see.
He's going to try and eat the food and show you how it's done. This container, when it's full, it will last him 5 to 6 days. That's how he eats it. He said you eat 3 spoons, then you drink some water. And that's how you eat this food. Thank you, my good friend Kati Kurma. Tara, thank you very much. The food is very nutritious. It's got loads of protein, loads of nutrition.
This is very energy.
Yes,
Energy food.
and high energy food. No fruits, no veggies. Just plenty of different nuts, oats. I met him in the train. You see, sometimes you have to travel third class in order to learn different things. Wow, what an amazing find, traveling general class. Now that is something out of this world. You can't make this up. Amazing. Thank you, my friend Kuma.